episode of the PiP Podcast. I am here with my good friend Khalid.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
I have a few topics tonight, mainly relating to the new consoles coming out. But you were about to ask a question before we started. Is that still possible?
Yeah, I'll ask the question. Once it's answered, then we'll jump to your topic. So because there is excitement, especially from us two, I would say, for Tasha's, would you like to at least hear some of the subclasses?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll do that on when it comes up.
What?
Yeah, when we come up on a topic. So, because I want to hear what you have to say about these consoles, because I did forget that they're coming out. So, yeah.
All right. 1 second. Let me pull up the list. While I'm pulling it up, I will say, I heard recently like the games that you can get on PS4 that can also be like next gen. Apparently, if you bought them for the PS4, you get like a free upgrade to PS5. Because some of the games, like for example, like Assassin's Creed, like Valhalla, it came out yesterday, I think, and it's available on PS4, but you get a free upgrade for it for the PS5.
Very cool.
Okay, so it launches November 12th, which is Thursday. November titles. I don't know what the new Xbox console is even called. Do you?
No, actually, I don't know.
It's something weird. So, I have a list of games that came out. I just want the list. I don't want the pictures. Ugh. Okay. So, yesterday, or technically today, but I think, 12 a.m., like Assassin's Creed Valhalla launched. I watched a couple of videos on it. It looks gorgeous in like 4K. And I literally yesterday I saw a article that was like Assassin's Creed Valhalla can't even hit 4K 60 FPS on the new GTX or whatever 3090, which is the strongest card. Like it's crazy strong. And then like today they were like, oh, never mind, it can hit that. And I was like, it better be able to hit that.
Yeah.
It was like that card just came out. So
now are you going to get a console, or are you just going to stick with PC? Like because I know you are a PC gamer, but when it comes to these newer consoles, how are you feeling about it?
I don't have any friends that play on it, so it's not worth me getting.
Okay. I'm glad that ended with play on it, because like I have no friends. Like, jeez,
I have no friends anymore, man. I don't exist. But so there's that. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destiny 2 Beyond Light. I guess that's like a DLC or it's an expansion. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Is that a new game or is that just an expansion as well? No, I think it's a new game.
I think it's a new. Yakuza plays weird. I thought aren't all of them basically still the same story, or maybe I'm offending Yakuza fans.
I'm not sure. In the past, the Yakuza series has been closely tied to PlayStation, but that's changed. Retaining open world gameplay of other games, but utilizing a turn-based combat system like classic JRPGs. Interesting. And then, of course, we're going to lose Cody Thursday.
Oh, why is that?
Because the PS5 launches and Demon Souls is like day one. The remake. So, do you know if he's getting a PS5 day one?
Probably not day one. He'd probably just like wait, and as long as he can play. I don't know, because he really would like playing Demon Souls. Hard to say.
It will be interesting to see. I know we will definitely lose him. I saw a game called Godfall.
Yes.
It looks cool.
It looks like Almost Human. Do you remember that game?
Sounds familiar. I think I do.
It did poorly commercially, and I think critically as well. But a lot of the themes were this was like futuristic Valhalla and Norris themes. And then watching Godfall, it seems to be the same thing. Like the way their armor looks techno, but yet still like plate armor.
Yeah. The way the camera moves in it reminds me a lot of like God of War.
Oh, yeah.
It also looked really good, but it's also a PC game. So you got Sackboy, A Big Adventure, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. If I was to get a PS5, it'd probably be for Miles Morales.
I want to touch back on that one because I saw more stuff on it, and I keep loving this game, and I don't know.
Then Friday, Cold War drops. New Black Ops game.
Yeah.
You got Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. WoW, Shadowlands.
Wow.
And that's it on this list for the like November drops. And I guess it's called the Xbox Series X, which is their naming scheme is just like why?
Yeah, wait, Xbox One.
It's like Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox whatever Scorpio.
Oh yeah.
Blah blah blah. It's like just make it simple. Just make it simple.
Yeah.
That would be cool if he did get the PS5, because then we could watch him play Demon Souls at the cookout that we were having Friday.
Now see, he doesn't play that often around me because I purposely commentate and just be like, "Oh, you died, bro." Or if he gets, I've done it to Robert as well. Like if he gets murdered, and I'm like, "Hey, do any of those crates or any of those chests have any good in them?" It's like, "Good." It's like, "Yeah, just get good," and then just like the seething. Oh, but just like backseat gaming the whole time. But thinking of the Spider-Man game with Miles Morales, have you seen the Into the Spider-Verse costume?
No.
So these beautiful geniuses have it where, you have his Miles Morales black-red color theme, but then you have the Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales costume, and it runs at 10 frames per second. So it looks like the movie.
I like that.
It's so crazy. And they're like, "Oh, it's not glitching," and it really looks like the movie. He even does the thing like, the hands behind the head when he's falling. But also when he punches enemies, it has the automatopoeias popping up, the bams, the pops, the pows, and so forth. Like, gorgeous, man. Just amazing.
Trying to find it. Did you actually like the Into the Spider-Verse movie?
I loved it.
Okay, good. Because I enjoyed it as well.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, well, I remember when it was talking about coming out, and they finally like revealed all the Spider-Man, and I was saying to Robert, and some other people, it's like they better have 2099 in there. It's like, well, no one mentioned it. It's like I want 2099. I want to see him finally on the big screen, and then roll credits, post credits, and there he is, and I'm losing my mind. And then just the meme they use, and so like on board love, like it's like I really really love the movie, and I don't know what's beyond love the movie when they introduce Spider-Man 2099 in that aspect. And then I wanted the Japanese Spider-Man, when Japan was making like their Sotukai, Totsukai, basically like giant Japanese robots, Ultraman, Power Rangers. So they did a Spider-Man version, and I'm like, I really, really want them to have him in this new Spider-Man. They start talking about casting and so forth. Like, okay, whatever. I really want it though. And then they said he is going to be in the movie. I'm like, these people, I don't know what's about them, but they have their ear to the ground when it comes to like fan stuff. So I don't know. It's now they just pick the perfect. I see, because I love George Takei, but I don't want George Takei to be that Spider-Man. You know, like Ken Watanabe from like Last Samurai or the Godzilla movies, the Let Them Fight. Like, I would love him. And there's another, I always forget his name. They call him the Johnny Depp of Japanese like actors, but or Japan, but really phenomenal actor. Ichi the Killer, Funky Forest. He's the other person I would like him to be the Japanese Spider-Man. Just...
I've only seen like a little bit of Spider-Man. Well, I mean, I've seen like all the movies.
Yeah.
But I never watched like any of the cartoons or read the comic books or anything like that.
Okay.
So I have no idea who some of these people you were talking about are.
Oh shoot. So Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, well, obviously the future. Miguel O'Hara works for this corporation. I forget their names now. Basically, same thing. He gets mutated by a spider, and he becomes the Spider-Man of that world. But his suit is so much edgier. Like the only way that like the '90s can do it. His villains are more edgy. Really cool looking. Really really cool costume. So he's just a future Spider-Man. And then Spider-Man. A lot of people don't know about that one just because he's a Japanese exclusive hero. And it just came out like what 1960s, early 70s. It gave way to the Power Rangers actually. So,
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, Super Sentai, as they called in Japan. And those things are dark.
So do you want to go ahead and say some of the subclasses?
Yes, I would actually. So remember when I was saying that there are going to be 22?
Yeah.
Supposedly they're going to be 30 subclasses. Because I know like I'm going to get the book, but I'm going to have stuff to do that day, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to like appreciate and read every subclass kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then take notes about it, so at least this gets my my mind a turning. Let me see. There's 30, so I'd say not read all 30. Do you have a D20 beside you? Do you have a set of dice?
I can.
Give me a roll. I want to see what it is.
All right, we're gonna roll the Nazir D20.
Watch it.
because I had my wormwood thing beside me.
Oh.
Eep. It's a 19.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be a 19. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't want to read 19. Do you want to read 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I rig it, so it always rolls 19.
Oh, well, that can't be at my table. Cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Cool. So it crits out. So I'll just go through them quickly then. So there's going to be the alchemist for the artificer. There's going to be the armorer for the artificer, the artillerist. You know what that means? Big booms. They're also going to be the battlesmith, again, artificer. So most of them, what they've done is they broke them down, oddly enough, nearly alphabetically. So you have like battlesmith. So I'm going to just hit it what the class is, and then when it changes, I'll just do it that.
Right.
Let's see. So then you have, into the barbarians, you have the Path of the Beast, and you have the Path of the Wild Magic, or Path of Wild Magic. So that's going to be nonsense. Have you ever got to roll on the Wild Magic chart?
Nope.
It gets nutty. Like, it really gets kind of nutty. I like
How
the
does
theme.
one get to roll Wild Magic?
So when you're picking a sorcerer, you either just the basic ones. It's in in the player's handbook. If you're just going to be a sorcerer, usually it's going to be the it's going to be the Draconic Bloodline or Wild Magic. Because the concepts of sorcerers, you know the I don't know how to explain that to you, but maybe for those who didn't, concepts of sorcerers are almost like mutants. The magic is within them, and it awakens and they use it. But with wild magic, they're touching into the chaos or the weave and pulling magic out. So that's why they just kind of learn spells. They're kind of like, their spells, you can do it different ways, but some ways it's like these spells are manifesting into existence and they start using them. But yeah, so when you cast a spell, you have to roll to see, you have to roll on the wild magic chart. And then some of these things are really funny, and some of these things can cause grievance. Nothing that's really too painful. I think one, you can shoot a fireball, if I'm right. It's been a while.
That's amazing. Can we change Noah's thing to that? Just you can shoot a fireball randomly.
Yeah, so Path of Wild Magic. I don't know what that means for a barbarian. Like that might be kind of crazy. I don't know what that would be. And then so touching into the bards, you're going to get the College of Creation. And then the College of Eloquence. Not too sure what the second one is. I thought I had an idea, but I forgot what that one might be. But I know creation, so it means again what magics you're touching into would be very interesting. So then right into clerics. So I think right now, actually artificers get the heaviest ones. So it seems. So clerics, you have your domain of order, order domain. You have your peace domain, and then you have your special one that you love, the Twilight domain.
Yes.
So
Twilight domain is I don't know. I feel like it could be one of my favorite subclasses.
Yeah.
Because of how much stuff it gives you.
Yeah. I mean, it seems really cool. And I don't know. I'm kind of the worst person when it comes to things are well, that's not completely true. But my philosophy when it comes to things being derailed or a class being broken or OP, I don't find that to be the case because there's story ways around it, and then there's also mechanic ways around it. So but with that being said, I don't think the class or that subclass is OP or broken. I think it's really interesting flair to it.
I think it gives me, I don't know, as a Nazir plays more damage and can go into stealth if he needs to,
Yeah.
I think being at the top of the round just makes it easier for me to do what I need to do before everyone charges.
Mm-hmm.
So, Twilight Domain, for people that don't know, I can touch other people or myself, as funny as it sounds, and give them or me advantage to initiative, and I can do it as many times as I want, but only one person can have it at a time.
Yeah.
So it means I get 2 chances to roll really high. And I never share that power.
I mean, I think sometimes he does, right?
No. He has a
about
shared initiative.
Wait, what? Weren't you giving initiative to people for the crossover? You were.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
Because I can also give stealth bonuses.
Because when did you pick up Twilight Domain? Did you pick it up before or after the crossover?
I'm not sure. I if it was literally either right before or right after.
Yeah, because that really amazing thing where it was, how did it go? That combo for the tournament.
Okay. I understand because I gave it to Kip. That's what it was.
There you go.
I had given it to Kip so that he could roll high because we chose him as our leader.
Yeah.
To roll for initiative. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. So I was like, I know you've given it before.
He doesn't share it when it's a free for all though.
But yeah, so I mean, I like the class, and it's very funny because of Nazir getting these Twilight blades way before, and then you know what I mean, and just reading the class or the subclass, there's some things in there that kind of match thematically to it.
Yeah, and Nazir being saved by the Raven Queen, like at the very beginning, and then it's like I'm pretty sure the Raven Queen gives out the Twilight Domain. So yeah. Anyway, would you like to continue?
Yes. And so okay, so now we're going into from clerics to druids. So you have the Circle of Spores, which sounds fun and silly. The Circle of Stars, and then one that's probably going to help really push the druid in their elemental utility. Because I mean, again, a person can play a druid any way they want to, but I feel like a druid is a really great utility character.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and that's why it's very funny, like, watching Trey's character on the field and just how it's like a perfect mix, especially because he loved like Fire Emblem and like strategy games, correct?
Yeah.
And then just like how he does that and he hits like the perfect fit. Because we had a druid before in the party and like the player switched over to a sorcerer, but like you're basically now seeing that like an optimized druid, you know, and it's really fun and cool to see that. So it's very interesting to see that. So I'm very interested in the concept of what the Circle of Wildfire, because granted there's going to be a lot of fire spells.
Yeah.
But what else does it entail for anyone else?
Larry, I've said this before to you. I really do think like Trey, if he spoke up, could like fit the tactician-y role that we are missing in our group.
Oh yeah.
You can feel that for
it. And then so moving to the fighters, only 2. You have your Psi Warrior, so there's a good chance they're gonna be a psionic. Maybe
would you allow psionics in your game?
I'll have to first read to see what it is, because I'll say like artificers are out of the question for like I love artificers in sitting inside of the realm of Eberron.
Yeah.
But so psionics have a special place in my game mechanics just because I remember when I first started playing second edition, and then the guy that was the DM at the time kind of like throws in front of me the psionic like manual. So a lot of times you would have it where these like the subclasses will get their own like little like special independent books.
Yeah.
And psionic was one of them, and so I love the concept of psionics, and then just X-Men, and so I don't know. So I'd read it and see the flair of it because I mean, why not? A psionic is a great person to go against mind flayers, and I mean the Gith Yankee and the Gith Sarai kind of that thing where they again, this is now speculation territory with them, but you know what I mean, they're kind of made to would resist psychic attacks and so forth. So I don't know, it might be interesting. So yeah, like I think the only reasons why I'm really just avoidant of because I mean I love alchemists, but I'm kind of avoidant of artificers. Again, it's not for their utility, but it's just like I think that for me personally, when it comes to playing a fantasy game and it's a medieval fantasy, I prefer it to stay medieval versus like, okay, everyone gets guns and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I rather for someone to go, what if I what if I take flour to make a bomb versus going, I make this bomb and
Don't you dare. I
yeah,
still love that moment. How everyone was like, why is it what? And then you're like, she has a crossbow with something green on it. I'm like, it's a flower bomb. And I was like, what's a flower bomb? And I'm like, it's hard to explain, but you're gonna fucking find out.
Yeah, because he was like, "Oh, you mean like a silo explosion?" He's like, "Oh God." that was
For people that watch this that don't know what a flower bomb is, flour, like when it's dusted up into the air, and it's just like granules of flour just floating through the air, is highly combustible.
Yeah.
So like, if something gets set on fire, and there's all this flour in the air, it's all on fire all of a sudden, like instantly.
That's another contribution from Brielle.
Trying to kill Nazir, as always.
It's just a really, really, really dangerous, really complicated home security. But yeah, so reading Psy Warrior, like just to see what it looks like and so forth, and probably like I don't know, I'm not really too like against it. Then Rune Knight. Rune Knight's another one that I think is kind of cool. So Cody was talking to me about the Rune Knight, and being interested in it and so forth. But
I like your response to that because he was like, "Can I just change the Rune Knight?" And then you were like, "Rune Knight's a fighter." Subclass. I remember that because he said that to you, and he was like, "Oh, crap."
I mean, it's like he can change, but you're not seeing what makes him. I mean, you'll see some stuff because I mean, I think because it's your fighter until third level, so you're not seeing anything fun until third level when you can start like. Usually, like I know there's some exceptions, like but when it comes to your subclass flare, you're not gonna see too much.
Like cleric is one of those ones where it's like you see one, like you see stuff from it pretty much immediately.
Exactly. I was about to say with cleric, the difference in that. Yeah, because you have to like pick your things and so forth.
That's why I think I got triggered at Josh when he multi-classed.
Mm-hmm.
Because he multi-classed into a warlock right as fighters got their second attack.
Oh yeah.
And I was explaining it to him. I was like, you need to wait. Like, that's not a good idea. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then once he started to get into combat and everyone's doing all this stuff, I think he kind of realized it wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that's why I'll tell people, it's like, well, remember, a subclass is when it gets there, or just Because yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's that I think we talked about with Raul, where you make you have that anxiety of making your first character,
Yeah.
and after that you start just like not nonstop trying to make more characters, and your one character becomes like 3 different types of classes and so forth. You know what I mean? So I understand it. Me playing, I stay pretty vanilla. I don't think any character that I've ever played has ever subclassed. I don't think. I think they've
You
only
mean
been
multi-classed?
yeah, multi-class.
I was
Subclass, I
like,
just don't.
subclass. You never got to
I
third level.
I go hard. I don't even allow them to even take a subclass. They just stay. They just stay what they have to do. I just ignore everything. No, but yeah, um, yeah, but I don't have a really problem with it. It just becomes like when we did that not crossover, the one shot and the random generator gave someone like a 3 multi-class.
Gave more than just one person than like
Oh,
3.
that's true. I don't know what was wrong with that system. They was just had like a monk cleric, no, like a monk paladin or something stupid. Then the monk paladin cleric. I don't know. It was just so weird. Like I don't know. And it's like everyone's either Nasi and Ericroa, or then there's like a halfling or gnome.
Yeah, it was a gnome.
So weird.
I still love that character though. I love the way I was just like, yes, just no emotion whatsoever, and really awkward.
I mean that it's very funny because like the ideas of one shots. Because I did have fun running it, but I feel like it didn't really get to any conclusion. But it was just, you know what I mean.
We didn't really even get to like the beginning of quest.
Yeah,
Like we found the quest.
Yeah, you literally got to like the temple opening, and then just like okay, but I don't know. I'll listen to that one like rarely, but it's very interesting to listen to it because there are parts like, oh, that happened and this happened, and I really like that. Because I've said before, I would actually like to revisit Iberon.
Yeah.
In the context of like just your one shots or so forth. I did express like doing something like a monster hunter kind of thing, because for those who are excited about like firearms, that's where I enjoy it to exist. I like Iberon to have like weapons weapon stuff, guns and so forth. But I would like to like revisit that, because I think the lady that gave all of you the quest, the Tabaxi woman, I think she was a really interesting character to dive into, and she had her little like pixie assistant that was a very fun and forth with characters as well. And there was it Maestro Metastopheles Miracle Medicines or something. I think that's what it was. And
oh, that was horrible.
like,
I loved it, but it was kind of like, should I be doing this? Nah, because didn't I like rob him or something? Tried to.
But yeah, I think it was a very funny interaction. But see, that's the thing. Like, I think that as long as everyone at the table can walk away and go, "I had fun," then I'm on board. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We're thinking of monks. Oh, so now we're to monks. You have the way of way of mercy. I'm interested in that one because I feel like the way of mercy is actually going to be, all the people who want to play like passive characters.
Yes.
Then this is probably going to be that character, the monk that's just kind of compassionate but strong enough to punch a owlbear unconscious, but still.
That's the kind of monk that Noah wants to play. Is like an old granny that bakes cookies or something like that.
Now, that's very funny. He said, "Have you ever watched? Has he ever watched Acquisition Incorporated C-Team?"
No, but I know where he got it from. He got it from like a meme that he saw on the internet.
So there's Acquisition Incorporated C Team. I actually like them more at times than the regular, but there's a character in there. Her name is the player's name is Kate Welch. Kate Welch is a game designer, but she turned D&D game designer. She's the one that made was it Ghost of Saltmarsh?
Yeah.
And she also like helped design the Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty and just a bunch of stuff. Like woman's on a roll. She's phenomenal. Like it's very great seeing her first in the C Team and then the stuff that she's doing now. Because she DM'd the Rick and Morty game, and then she DM'd for the Game of Thrones folks. But that being said, she plays a character named Rosie Beestinger, who's like this 150-year-old little old lady halfling. And her thing is like she's not your grandma's grandma unless she is. So she's like this little tiny, frail looking, like little old lady halfling, but then she like takes off like her cloak and she's just jacked. And she's a little bit of a beast.
See, I'm pretty sure Noah got like his idea directly from a meme that he referenced like a year or two ago. And he's just like, I want to play that now.
But I wonder what planted the seeds for the meme.
Exactly. It's probably that.
I don't know. And it's really weird. Like, how do you feel about monks?
I think a monk would be a good multi-class for Nazir. So I guess in that aspect, I like it. I don't like fighting them. But I like them.
Hold on. Let's see.
There is one character in my campaign that is a monk. The players have just not met it yet.
I know, because there are some DMs that they say that monks are OP.
I can definitely see where like they say that, but
yeah.
So
no,
it's just like balance it out.
I'm going to ask you this question: am I picking up normally? Because I see my audio has shifted.
You sound different, but you don't sound bad.
Okay, good. That's not bad. But yeah, there's some DMs that will like refuse monks flat out, and it's like, no, they're too OP. But I'm like, they're not really. I think it's just the stun option. I think that's the problem, is that they can stun things, and that causes like big bads and monsters to get stunned and just becomes vulnerable and loses their. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But no. Let's see.
Is there any class that you don't particularly like?
No, not really. I mean, there's not really a class that I don't like. Because it's really interesting. There's people who will talk trash about the fighter and like, ooh, fighters are basic and so forth. But I was like, I love the fighters.
I love the fighters too. It's like they're the perfect blank slate to fill and make out whatever.
Yeah, they can fill roles, and they can fill the roles, and they can put in the work. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, because I mean, again, like even though I'm saying like artificers aren't really a part of the world, or again, and I say that, but if someone can really give me like the ideas of what their character is, who their character is, because again, I love Alchemist. So if they can like, this is the character, this is what they're doing, this is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can sell me on it. So a lot of my no's, if it's to something that is sensible, can easily be a yes. It's like you just sell me on it.
So you're saying if someone's able to sell you on an artificer in your game, is that what you're trying to say?
Possibly.
If they have it planned out really well.
Yeah, like I mean, possibly, yeah. Why not? Because that's the thing. Like the concepts of artificers are that they're kind of like. So I mean, Glat Bloom, pecan, apple, pumpkin, peach. Like
Do the
she
voice.
almost plays out like an artificer, and to some degree, where she's just kind of in her bags and doing stuff, and she's talking fast, and she's working on getting spells and scrolls and books and so forth.
You didn't do the voice.
So, and that, so you know what I mean, like in that concept of just like, okay, this is the character. Yeah, but I know this kind of runs the risk of like that anachronic, where it's just kind of like, or anachronism, where it's just kind of like, oh, here's my revolver. I'm like, oh, jeez, okay. But then again, that's just me personally as a DM. But again, if a person can pull it off and they explain it and I like it, then then I don't really
I
have a
put
problem
magical guns in my
What's
game
that?
just to troll Noah. As I
Who
put
put what in?
magical guns in my game just to troll Noah.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, they come from Eberron because you know how like the whole world thing shifted. How I explained that to you. So they are in the world and they are able to be obtained, but they have to have like really like upkeep kind of thing.
Yes.
And so it's like at some point like he could get one, but at some point if he kept using it, it's just gonna break if he doesn't have a way to repair it. Because I have them all, they're all set like they have to have a specific thing to repair it. And it has to come from Eberron. So if they get one, it's gonna be limited use. I'm pretty sure they know that because I've explained that through another character.
Okay.
So, how excited, or what do you know about the Fate movies? Like the two Fate movies, Heaven's Feel. Just what I told you.
Very little. I know you explained some things to not spoil them, but yeah. I mean, I could actually go just binge them Thursday. I might actually do that. Do the Fate movies? So do the Fate movies tie in to each other, or are they tied just into the series, where it's just like each one is a possible timeline?
Okay, so they have Fate Stay Night, right? And then there's Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Those two were series, and instead of making a series for Heaven's Feel, they just decided to put it out in 3 movies. So it's basically a 6-hour venture of just Heaven's Feel. It is a different timeline, technically. It's a different timeline from like Unlimited Blade Works and like the original Fate Stay Night, but it is like the 3 movies, they go together. So basically, at the end of movie 2, you're left at like, oh my god. And then, of course, you know, they had the release date, which was perfectly timed to be March or May or whatever, because it's spring, and this movie's spring song, but then they pushed it back. But if you watch the 2 movies, you'll understand, like you'll be caught up. If you don't watch them, I can catch you up on the way to watch it. If you've seen Unlimited Blade Works or Fate Stay Night, you'll know the characters, but you won't know the plot technically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like with I'm doing this what I usually do with my mangas collection. So I don't have. That's not true. I rarely have any like complete manga series. It's either I start in the beginning and I just can't find the rest of them, or I just randomly just start when I first see whatever manga is out and then just start picking up from there. So it's this weird like there's no complete set of manga. I think I had like Real About High School was my only like complete set. But yeah, it's like all over the place. And so I'm basically doing that to Fate Stay Night. I'm just like, I'll just watch it here.
It should be really good. I think Josh is going to be really fun to see his reactions in theater. I have been like tempted to read the manga for it as well. So like, there's the visual novel route, and I've seen like most of it. I've seen all of it. I've seen most, if not all of it. So I pretty much know what's gonna happen. But I've yet to tell Josh because I want to see his reaction. But I've also found where like people or the company has put it into manga, so I can just go read from where the second movie stops and just read the movie, like the third one. And I'm just like, no. And I'm glad I held out because, now me, you, and Josh are going to go see it.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. And plus, the animation quality on like a big theater screen is going to be really good, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's why they need to bring Studio Ghibli to this theater.
If they were going to bring Fate to this theater.
Yeah.
And then they were like, nah. I'm gonna have this boring movie here instead. I will not never be triggered by that because I will always be triggered. Because they said it was gonna be there, dude. Oh my god. Anyway.
I mean, I'm very interested to see like what movie, well, not seeing it, but just to go and find out what movie replaced Fate for here.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Because yeah. It's not good. It's not gonna be a good movie. I can tell you that much.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. Was there any other notable thing that you saw in Tasha's or whatever?
Let me see. Actually, I'll pick out 3 because I mean, not to throw shade on Paladins, but Paladins. So let me just read them real quick then. So ending to end monk, there's the way of the way of astral self. Going into Paladin, there's Oath of Glory. Then Oath of the Watchers, which is I'm interested to see who that means. Going into Rangers, you have Fey Wanderer and the Swarm Keeper, which Swarm Keeper is one that I'm very interested to read. Rogue, you have the Phantom and the Soul Knife.
Ooh, those sound interesting.
Phantom, I think, would play very good off of the Raven Queen as well. And then you have the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer, the Fathomless Warlock, the Genie Warlock, the Blade Singing Wizard, and then Order of the Scribes Wizard. And that's all they have for it.
Order of the Scribe.
So
what?
I don't know, because I told you about like my feelings on DMPCs, but that's one thing that I will have to say, because it came up before a video, and I was having a conversation with someone afterwards that as a DM, I feel like a DMPC is a very unnecessary character because you are the world.
Yeah.
But then they go, what happens if you need someone to fill a slot? It's like, well, that's what an NPC is. And just kind of seeing the through line between an NPC and a DMPC, that this person is just there to help them out. But with that being said, it's okay to give an NPC classes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even enemies, like that's like enemies and NPCs. So like that's one way to do it. I would like to see those traits tacked onto some character, just to see what that might look like. Because I mean, take what's his name? Take Suthril.
Yeah.
He actually is a class.
Oh, that's his name. Oh, that's,
well, yeah, that's his name.
I told you the other day. I forgot his name. You didn't tell me what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Suthril is his name, his given name. Royal Livnall was the anagram for your villain, which, by the way, was a phenomenal reveal.
Yeah, everyone was like, ah. They were all having speeches at the table.
Because his reaction was phenomenal. But yeah. So I feel like Rash would have told you what he is, though. But if not, then I will let it wait until the game.
What?
What's that?
I am confused now.
So Suthril has a class to him. He has an actual class. So just like you fought the monk, and so all his guardians, his bodyguards were actual like classes.
Yeah.
So Suthril himself has an actual class, because one of the questions that
Nazir asks.
Well, Nazir, but also Damocles, because Damocles was confused why hitting Suthril, attacking Suthril didn't kill him, and then I think maybe Brielle or someone's like, well, maybe he's an adventurer. So the concepts of like Suthril isn't just some weak pushover. He's a man of many talents, I guess is the best way to say it. So in that idea, I think that's.
Now I'm wondering what he is. I could see him being like, is he a class that we could play?
Yes.
I can see him being like a warlock, a rogue, or a bard. I can't see him being a ranger.
No, that's funny.
Or a druid. Maybe a druid. I don't know.
That'd be very interesting.
They got spooky.
That's a very interesting. Like, that's an interesting character. Like I would say he's not, but that's a very interesting idea. Like, what if a druid becomes like this crime lord because he, you know what I mean? Like, so the city encroaches on his stuff, so he now becomes a crime lord within civilization to keep them out of his woods. It's kind of a cool concept.
Secretly, Suthril is a barbarian, and the reason why he didn't get like completely smashed is because he raged.
That'd be hilarious. Again, like, I think it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like, hot take to go, it's not a good game unless you get like Noah. Sad, but I don't think that's really I think the true thing is like Noah gives good reactions.
He does.
Like, everyone has their reaction points. I'm like, yay. Your go-to when it's something, you go, oh my effing god. It's just like, what the heck?
Or I just like look down and then look at you and give you the F word.
Oh yes. But like with Noah, it's sometimes just like they're classics, I think. But just the thing of that concept where if he like hits Suthril gets up and then just starts like ripping through his clothes with pure rage. It's just like the noise of this man now, like, because Suthril is most definitely shorter than Noah, or something. But then the concept of like him just like getting bulky and then just running. But yeah, no, Suthril isn't a barbarian either.
So what you're saying that Rash would have told Nazir because didn't Nazir ask him about Suthril?
Yes, he actually he did. Yeah, I'd say that he would probably tell him.
Do you want to tell him? I do want to know. Do you want to tell me on stream or off stream?
I can tell on stream if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, so Suthril is an arcane trickster.
Yeah, that makes sense. So he is a rogue.
Yeah.
That makes sense because of how he like fake murdered himself in front of everyone.
Now that goes into something even more diabolic that Rash does not know.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Suthril is and that's why I always say that I love the concepts of characters, because Suthril in his own right could easily be, like, so say that if, like, I love the concept of, like, if I make a crown arc, so I have a second party, or second group that I play D&D with, right?
Yeah.
And crown is where they start off. There's a very highly likely chance where Suthril would be their friend. Or
because he's a notable person there.
Yeah. Yes. And that's a really crazy cool thing where, again, I won't make him I'll make him as cordial as he is. But in that same concept, there might be a chance where they don't look at him as ever being bad. And even to the point where if it was that was a crossover where you guys are trying to get Suthril, then that party would actually be against you because how much they like him. For his
I'd
better
like
or for worse.
Because I would squash them.
What if there's like you and someone else is a fighter, but they also have that sorcerer on their side? You just cast haste and it's just...
Oh yeah, that whole haste predicament.
That would be beautiful. Both of you roll all of your hits, and it's just you two just meat grinding each other, just as if you just turn two blenders on and start pushing close to each other. Like Nazir and whoever just slowly trying to chip each other away would be very, very...
Can we do it on a cliffside?
Oh my gosh.
And then I'll just like open my Twilight like portal and then kick them through it off the cliff.
Like, I would love it. So just because, again, look at Malos and Baby Yoda, and then you and Cosmic Ghost Rider, and you mean like the coincidences that weren't planned, right?
The coincidence, and also how, like, I finished Punisher, and his sort of story matches up, even though Nazir isn't dark like you said.
Yeah,
Ghost Rider is also, or Cosmic Ghost Rider is also the Punisher.
Yeah. So I feel like what would happen in the world of coincidences is that whoever you would fight against, who is that fighter, it would literally be the foil. Like, you would be each other's foil. So it'd be just the most metal, bad A fight ever, where you both roll all your hits and you're just like chipping away, and then you Twilight Step and you kick them, but they have like Feather Fall or something. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah.
Everyone just stops playing and just listening to this fight.
Everyone's just like, yeah, we're just gonna pause and watch these two.
Yeah, they just go at it, and it's like whatever, and it's just both like thinking outside of the box of just what's the parameter of their characters, like class, and then just going to like, what do I got in my pockets? Pocket sand.
It's Pocket Ash now, my dude.
Oh shoot, there is Pocket Ash. Do they feel? How does your players feel about that concept? Or did you explain? Or should I?
I explained it. Because I told Josh I used it on the flesh metal golem, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she proceeded to chase me and slam her arm through like a wall and try to lariat me.
Oh yeah, she was.
Can you adjust your phone? Your sound and yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. I think she was trying to kill you, bro. Cool. So it's almost... Do you have anything else, or do you want to jump to our last segment?
I don't have anything else.
All right. Oh wait, I have one thing. I saw you shared, or you like the Balahack. They have the new currency.
Yeah.
Those look gorgeous.
Oh yeah, the how they printed the same thing that's on the patch that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
For people that don't know, me and my friends every year we go, or start in started 2 years ago, go to Revelations, which is like a Fallout airsoft event. So everyone dresses up as like post-apocalypse or just nerdy things, kind of. And so this year, me and my friend Noah are going as Chaos people, and I will be the leader of Chaos, and Noah's going to be like a priest of Chaos. We're gonna try and get a whole army, and then we're gonna like just, cause chaos. It's gonna be like, everyone charge into the town, and then like this whole army goes into the town. It's like, now kill everyone, and then they go. Like everyone starts just shooting, and I'm just like, don't kill this one. This one's funny looking. We keep this one.
That'd be great.
Just, do you want to join Chaos, my son? He's like, dude, I won't get shot, will I? And I'm just like, not if you answer correctly.
See, it'd be very interesting because I know like they indicate themselves or identify themselves by having like the bands or the tape.
Yeah.
If you can find a way to have like chaos symbols on the tape or something.
Dang it, Khaled.
Kind of cool. All right, so now we'll jump on to the segment. What are you watching, playing, reading, listening to? So what you got for us, Will?
So I binged The Punisher since last Tuesday, or whenever I started it. I watched both seasons. That was really good. Really enjoyed it. I realized that The Punisher is definitely my type of hero kind of thing. Pseudo hero, whatever you want to call him. I started watching Hannibal. I really enjoy Hannibal. Probably more than a sane person should. Have you seen Hannibal?
Episodes. I love Matt Mikkelsen, but I haven't sat down through a whole season.
Someone said that I reminded them of the detective at one point, and I was like, why? And they were like, because you are really good at figuring people out and why they do things. I'm like, thank you. And then I started watching it, and I'm like, he called me autistic.
I guess it's better to be considered the detective than be considered Hannibal. Someone's like, you remind me of Hannibal, then you know what I mean? Like, you might want to take that as an insult to some degree.
Some degree. I did also share a Hannibal like fan song.
Yes, I saw that.
I played it at the shop while we were building the table.
Okay.
It's called Become the Beast. It's a really good song. I think it, from what I've seen, it describes their relationship well. Because it's talking about the way I interpret it is it's like Hannibal's perception, like how he's perceiving it, and how he's always the person that like hunts down other people, kills them, eats them, whatever. But then he meets Will Graham, and he's like, holy crap, this guy, like, he can get into everyone else's mind kind of thing. He understands why people do this. And it's like, it's shown in like the first episode at least that like Hannibal is intrigued at how he's coming to all these conclusions, because Hannibal made like a phone call to alert one of the guys that they were hunting kind of thing. And I think he realized right then, because at the end he was like, he said something about the phone call. He said he thinks the copycat killer was the person on the phone. And you just saw Hannibal's face like light up, like sort of like not out of fear, but enjoyment that he was able to figure it out kind of thing. It was really cool. Really enjoying that. But the song, again, is really good. You should listen to it if you've seen it. or plan to watch it. The My Hero Academia chapter, I said a little bit. Dabi, of course, he revealed himself as Toya Todoroki, who was thought to be dead or sent off to some sort of hero training facility kind of thing. Presumed dead, but like they had a shrine for him and everything. He's like, no, I'm not dead. It's a shame that y'all don't recognize your own son, kind of thing. That's gonna be really cool. Especially because he broadcasted it like all over. Like in the manga, he broadcasted it all over the like Japan, or presumably like the world. Like a pre-recorded message saying like why he's doing it, who he is, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And explaining how like his original goal was going to be killing Shoto Todoroki, the one that has fire and ice. But since Endeavor became the number one hero, he was just going to go ahead and do like mess with his career instead. Until he goes on, he's like, my flames are like the same flames as Endeavor, and I killed like 33 people and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, you're laying out all this information. It's pretty cool. So I've been reading that and just news articles, I guess, about gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still listening to country music, and then was there anything else playing? Me and the boys I've been watching like Wormwood's live streams recently.
Okay.
I enjoy their live streams, but they did a Pokemon randomizer, Nuzlocke, so me and the boys were like, that seems like fun. We should do that and like sort of do it together. So we've been playing, or trying to stay towards the same areas as everyone. Because like when I play Pokemon, I fly through it kind of thing. So I'm the farthest ahead. Like I'm farther than Josh and everyone. And I've been playing only when they play. So I'm waiting for Noah and Trey to catch up to me and Josh, because Josh is right behind me. But it's going good. Do you know what a Nuzlocke is?
Yes. It's basically permadeath for your Pokemon.
Yeah, and you can only catch one Pokemon per route. So, but everything's randomized. So, like, you can either get like a really, like, just a little cute Pokemon, and it has like amazing moves or something crazy, or you can get a legendary and maybe it knows Harden and only Harden.
That's fine.
Yep. How about you?
What about their like health though? Do their health change, or the levels change, or is it just
their levels are around the same? So all their stats are different. The Pokemon per each area is different. The moves are randomized. The types of moves are randomized. Like Flamethrower has flame in the name. It could now be an ice type move. And it could have like 20 accuracy and like 200 power or something crazy. Noah's Pokemon, one of them is Fisher, and it has like 45 accuracy, but if it hits, like if it lands a hit, it literally KOs no matter what. Yeah.
That's funny. Thinking of the table and Wormwood, I heard like I saw when you reached out to them, asking them about their finisher, and the fact that they answered blew my mind. I think that's super cool of them.
Okay. Yeah, the fact that they like emailed me back and was like, "Oh yeah, it's this." They did it literally at the start of the day, I believe, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Because that's one of the issues that a lot of woodworkers have, is that they'll ask other established or just well off, not well off, but just well integrated woodworkers. Like, what do they use or what this, and they're just like, no, or they don't tell them, like it's a trade secret kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Wormwood is like, oh, it's this, you know what I mean? That's especially with the busyness that, you know what I mean? Like at their, like, they're still pushing out that all of their pledges, right?
Yeah, like they now own like Keystone.
Yeah.
They have a crazy amount of like tables to build, and honestly, like if Worm Life, their vlog series showing like insight into how they make their stuff, sort of shows anything right now, they are busy AF, probably getting like Christmas stock. I'm sure you've seen that episode where they're like, we were expecting a doubling each year, and then like he goes on, he's like, it's day one, and before 24 hours pass, we've sold 4 times as much as last year. So I assume they are working around the clock to get like backlog stuff in, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, especially with Black Friday coming up, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
They didn't actually tell. They said it's a mixture of like the two, but I don't know the ratios. I would assume it's like a 50-50 kind of thing.
Yeah, probably. Wait, can you hear that train?
Here, speak up. I don't.
Can you hear that train?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
No train.
Because it's literally like, as I say something, it just starts blaring.
Nope, don't hear train. Don't hear it all.
Awesome. But yeah,
Discord does a good job of drowning that out.
Noise canceling, yeah. But that's one of the reasons why, just like with all their workload, which is completely an understatement, they still had time to just go, oh, here you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They again, from looking at Worm Life, they do have like good department management.
Yeah.
So they have like dedicated departments to like media, and then like customer service only, and then shipping and stuff like that. So it goes to show that like if they have enough resources to answer like what could be seen as a meaningless question. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, exactly. Yeah, but they handle it perfectly. Was that all with the last segment? All the things that you're up to?
Yep.
Okay. So with myself, I'm watching also Worm Life, doing a bunch of. It's very interesting because with Wormwood, so I've been watching them for a while, like off and on, but I just never really connected it until I think so. We were talking about something about Worm Life, and I was like, wait, hold on. And then going back, it's like, oh, okay, then I've actually been watching them for a while. Before it was Worm Life, I was just watching random videos. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Like, it's been no actual order. It's just been all over the place. So there have been times where they'll talk about like when they start growing or starting to work with the marijuana.
Oh yeah.
But I was already watching the episode where they're going to get the tour before the previous episode thing. So it's yeah, like I don't know why I watch it like that. I was just like, oh, and just click on it and then either suss out what they're talking about or I've seen it coincidentally. And then the other thing that I've been binging as well has been so Good Mythical Morning is a awesome show on YouTube, but the person who makes their food, Mythical Chef Josh, he has his own kitchen. And this is for those who don't know versus Josh versus Wilk up here. But so I've been watching a bunch of Mythical Kitchen and just seeing how crazy he is in comparison to like how subdued he is.
Yeah.
And then Truth Seekers. I've about finished that show. Have you heard of that one?
I have not.
So Truth Seekers is Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. So Shaun of the Dead and so forth fame. And basically the guy's a like network. He does like sets like cables and network. Can't think of the words I'm looking for. Installation, does network installation basically. And he also hunts ghosts in his spare time. It's just the weird things that happen there. It was pretty good. It's a pretty good show. Reading, nothing really. I have a few little books, just like art books that I've been going through. Mucha, Alphonse Mucha, his books and some other ones, but nothing really substantial when it comes to sit down and read. Because if you know me, I don't really like reading novels that often. Listening to, I got back to listening to Mallory Knox. His music's really good. And then Mumford and Son. Especially The Cave. I think that song, for some reason, I don't know. I woke up this morning and then just like laying down, I was like, you know what? The Cave. It just feels like it fits. And so, definitely a good song. I think that's really it. Reading, listening to, yeah, that's about it. I'm playing Guardian's Tale still. That game. I got Robert in my guild now. You should make it just have a guild. You know, just have it and don't do anything. Just so I can have a guild member.
Just so I could join you and be in your guild.
Yeah, just so I just have clout.
You have 3-member clout. Congratulations.
Just get everyone just to download it and then join my guild and then just remove it, because I think it doesn't really matter as long as you just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just have these people in my guild that don't do anything. It's like, you know, it's just a guild. I think that's my goal. I'm just gonna have a bunch of people just join the guild. I was just like, yeah. But yeah. And see, even the funny thing is with Guardian Tales, I haven't been playing the main storyline. I just been farming, and not even like, not grinding, literally just like farming, just allowing things to accumulate and just, this is done, and just keep on keeping on with it. So I don't know, but it's a fun game. But yeah. Sorry, going back to games though. I think I know we were hyped about it.
Wait for 1 second. Can you adjust your phone or like leave the call and come back?
I'm gonna try to leave the call. Ready?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hang up this recall. Okay.
All right. Woo. He was going. There we go.
How was that?
That's better. For some reason,
Yes.
you like slowly descended into robot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's my phone. I don't know. My phone. I don't know. I think my phone hates Discord, but it's like a kid when you can trick them to like, oh, you go to the doctor, so you have to like just trick them, and then they remember that they don't like something. It's kind of like that. So my phone's just like, oh, okay, whatever, and then it goes, wait. And then it just reads out. I don't know.
All right, you were asking a question.
So because I remember I was talking to, I think we're all there. Talking about Battlefield 6 is coming out. Were you in the room?
Nope.
You might have left. Okay, because I know like me, no one tried talking about it. So yeah, Battlefield 6. Information about it. DICE is still running it, and I mean 3 + 3 is 6, so hopefully it's 2 times as awesome as 3. Like that makes me happy. Like because I love Battlefield 3, one of my favorite first-person shooters. Just the sheer awesome stuff you can do with it. So hopefully that's what they do. They go back to basics, but then just add versus. You know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to. I forgot about that one, but yeah. But other than that, I haven't really playing too much of anything else. There's a few like little random games, but I don't know. But yeah, that's it really.
So, what?
No, good.
So, what are your expectations for the table?
Big table. So I'm building this big table. I reclaimed, paid only for like hardware really, and then some wood. So the idea of just building a table cheap but awesome. So expectations for it. I mean, just the room. Because even when we increased the one fold out table to 2 fold out tables, there's still times where like I'm looking over and you see where like player papers are slowly migrating to the center of the battle mat. You know what I mean?
Yes. I do enjoy using my iPad for that reason, because usually I'm able to stay neat.
Yes, yeah. But it's every. I mean, well, like you'll see like everything, like bottles or something or anything going into that space. It's kind of like, hey, what are you doing here, kid? But yeah, I mean, just its size though. I love the size of it because it can fit. I feel like it can probably fit like, hold on, probably.
It can fit 9 players, I think.
I think it could fit. Because I can think what, 4 people on each side, possibly.
Well, okay. I say 9 because when we were sitting, like when we had it upside down,
yeah,
there was 3 chairs, like literally like side by side, like basically at the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think 3 players could fit on like each side, and then if we needed to squeeze in more, we could. But comfortably, like 9 would be like the comfortable spot, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so 9 players, excluding the DM kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I can see that. But yeah, just functionality and then being modular. I think modular is one of like the keystones of what I've been pushing for. The concept that it can be broken down and then moved into a new venue. And then just have it where because I put the desk that I put there, so there's like the players can put stuff there. So I'm using there a lot. So in the table, so you have your 3 cubbies. I think there's 3. On each, yeah. So with 3 on one side, yeah. So 3 on one side, 1 on the other side. I think that's how it goes. And then if I put a drawer in there, because I really want that drawer. I don't know why, but I think it should go in. But regardless, just that idea where it's just like the players can have that room. It's really big. It's just rustic and spacious. It really just opens up everything as well.
And then if we seal it with the way that Wormwood, they gave us the recipe for it, would look really nice, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's close to was it close to natural?
Close to wood.
Yeah.
So it basically you rub it on. I get the way I think the beeswax works in that, because it's linseed oil and beeswax.
Yeah.
They said they used is you just rub it on, and then the beeswax is sort of like left over after all the oil is absorbed.
Yeah.
Sort of buff it.
Now, see, even though they did tell me that, I still feel I'm leaning more towards the Dutch oil.
Yeah.
Because it's usually like linseed oil, tung oil, and then they do use a wax every once in a while. They usually use a wax or a different type of thing. So it's kind of the same process. And it's really, it makes for a really nice surface. But yeah, and then also for the DM area, I think the DM area is really important too. Well, obviously because me and then you as well. So 2 DMs.
People
so I want to
probably like 2 DMs. What?
The DM Gorgon, the 2-headed DM, a DM Gorgon. But yeah. So that aspect where it can have cubbies and clips. It'd be very interesting if we can make a video just to show it all.
What
was that? A beating stick? It's very funny because I was talking about that one. Oh, I think we were talking about a beating stick too. And it popped up and I was like scavenging for like other parts, and then I was just like, gotta get a beating stick. It's like, why was I thinking about a beating stick? That's because but yeah, I think yeah. It was really weird because I don't know if we were talking about it, but it was like it'd be funny to have a sheath with a sword just on the side of the table. Just pull it out. This is the sovereign. Anyone who holds the sword is that would be kind of cool, like having a talking stick, but it would be a sword that's fused into the hilt, so there's no people pulling swords out. But it's just like a literal like wrapped around, you know what I mean? Like you have the sheath and you have like the belt wrapped around it.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, honestly. But I can already hear in my mind someone screaming, "Let me see the sword!" As in, let me talk, or just let me see the sword because they want to play with it. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work out too well.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to put the fear of DM into someone.
I do like the fact that there's like more chance or more time for me to react when Noah throws a piece of paper at me. Because I already deflect them pretty well.
No, there's a great
like, force palm them back at him, and he's like, "What?"
Yes, I mean, I think it'd be I think so. The plan, because you want to make, because I was talking about the video. Do you want to make a video so it just rolls on B-roll, or do you want to make a video for like the YouTube channel, or just, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do with that?
We can do both.
Okay.
Because I can. Yeah, no, we can do both. That's not a problem.
Okay.
It's just where do we want to do it at?
Yeah.
You know what else I thought would be cool?
What's that? Putting
LED strips on the bottom of it.
Someone was talking about LED strips, and it's like it's really cool, but then it's like, but what? So what's the LED strips for in your mind? Like, what are you using it for?
Say you're near the ocean, you turn it to blue. Like you're in, like maybe it's a bad area, not area, but death saving throws. Like when it gets to that player's turn, you turn it to like pulsing red or something like that.
Interesting.
Just to sort of like set like, oh shit, that's right. Because you can set it, have it be like, you know, with the death saving throws in the player's mind, it's like they're all talking, and then as soon as it gets back to that player's turn, it just turns the pulsing red again, and they're like,
yeah. Hey guys, yeah, so okay, is that what we're gonna do? Now you again, and just red pulse, like, oh my god, you changed. Maybe that'd be very interesting.
Because they're not expensive.
No, they're not. I mean, like, there's been times I've seen them, and I would go, call it, what do you need these for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So versus not like just purchasing them and not, because I mean, I was just saying that there was a issue that I had where I wanted to buy or to sculpt something from Dead Space, and I was like, well, I need to figure it out. And then after buying like my soldering iron and all my LEDs and so forth, and then it's like, oh, this thing, like, well,
you know why else it would be a really cool idea?
What's that?
Because since they're so cheap, you can get a lot of them,
mm-hmm.
and they like jerry chain together or whatever that is called. Is that
daisy
right?
chain.
Daisy chain. They just chain together, and since the table is made out of reclaimed pallets, you could angle some upwards from the bottom of the table, and it'll glow through the cracks.
Ooh, that would be spooky.
That would be really cool because you could like they'll illuminate. I'm picturing it where like they illuminate the bottom of the table,
Mhm.
and then you could also have it like go back around, illuminate the top, and then go through the little cubbies you made. So like you can literally play in the dark if you want to.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
with that, it is 12. So
Yeah.
it's time to call it.
Call it. We'll
So-
call it.
Do you want to do it? You want to do it?
Yeah. Just playing with pros, but yeah. So, hopefully everyone enjoyed themselves. Just again, a nice laid back environment. Just two guys loving stuff and just talking about the nerddoms that they have and the fandoms. So if you enjoyed, you can follow, sub. And it's every Tuesday and every other Friday we'll have a guest. Maybe just pick their brains or so forth. But other than that, yeah, hope you have a great night.
Alrighty. See you.